program that's lagging badly behind.
It all kicked off with a brekkie TV grenade courtesy of Deputy Nats leader David Littleproud.
We're going to help the states, but they've got to admit they've got a problem because they've done 3/5 of bugger all. They've been asleep at the wheel.
Cue the clapback from the New South Wales Premier.
When we are given 24 or 48 hours notice about how many new doses we're getting, and as you can appreciate, disseminating that within 24 hours or 48 hours is a difficult task.
And her even more fired up Health Minister.
I'm extremely angry, and I know there are other health ministers in the country who share similar views.
Brad Hazzard fuming after 45,000 doses were dumped at the state's doorstep without warning.
Let me make it very clear, I'm as angry as I have ever been in this 15 months of war against this virus. All governments in Australia should be working together.
In Queensland, where an unvaccinated doctor and nurse are each at the centre of alarming new clusters, the rollout is ramping up. The Palaszczuk government called out for stockpiling its supply.
We have not had certainty of supply to our hospitals through the vaccine rollout so far. That has required the holding back of enough doses to ensure that we can administer the second dose.
The PM is sticking to the high road for now.
It's a big job, we're all doing it. States and territories are doing it for their frontline workers in hospitals and their quarantine workers. We're doing it through the GP rollout.
There are 6 million Aussies eligible to get their first dose of COVID-19 vaccine right now. But only 650,000 people have received their shot, falling way short of the PM's original goal of 4 million by close of business today, the 31st of March.
There is obviously a very serious shortage of supply of vaccines, which goes back to the procurement decisions made by the federal government. That's not good enough.
Federal Health Minister Greg Hunt sticking to the script, insisting everyone will get at least one shot by October.
I'm very thankful for the fact that we have in Australia a sovereign vaccine manufacturing capability, which is allowing us to ramp up dramatically the vaccines which are going into arms.
Jane Holton is on the Executive Board of the National COVID-19 Coordination Commission and was previously head of the Federal Health Department for more than a decade. She joins us now. Jane, is the problem here at the state or federal level?
Well, look, the problem to start with was it was a little slow to get vaccines into the country. And, of course, now everyone's desperately keen to do a good job. So people, I think, are rightly concerned when there's any criticism. So we've had a bit of a difficult day, I'd say, but basically it's because people are concerned to get vaccines delivered. So I wouldn't say it's anyone's problem, but I think it's everyone's problem to solve.
One of the criticisms the states seem to be making is that we have some vaccines, but we're not able to dispense them yet because they don't have confidence in the federal government delivering. Is that a fair criticism the states are making?
Well, I think an improvement in communication between the Commonwealth and the states is certainly something that I think we'd all like to see, because there shouldn't be confusion about those things. We know how many we're importing. Pfizer has been delivering pretty regularly, I'm told, and we now know that CSL is coming online. So you're right, we've had a short delay in vaccines coming from Europe. So one of the things I would say right now is let's get some transparency across everybody who's part of this journey so we can all see what's going on, and also people who are working in this system know what to expect next week, the week after and the week after that.
Well, the PM and the Health Minister have repeatedly pointed out that Australia is one of only 20 countries making its own vaccine supply. When is that going to start to pay off properly?
Yes, you're quite right. That vaccine is going out to general practice literally as we speak. The first batches of that, over 800,000 doses, came off that production line literally only a week ago. And now we will see that vaccine coming off the production line every week from now on. Now, I'm, for one, very keen to see that vaccine production ramped up and then all of those doses administered to people. That's what we want to do, protect all of Australia from this nasty virus. But certainly CSL are on the game now, and I'm very confident that they'll be able to produce for us.
Jane, we've gone from everyone being vaccinated by October to now everyone being offered their first vaccination by October. I'm not sure if maybe there's something in the small print, but can we catch up?
Well, we should be able to catch up. We also have access probably in the middle of this year to another vaccine called Novavax. So if any of this is about a concern about how many vaccines we have. We will get access to another vaccine mid-year, I'm hoping, and certainly that will be available around the world. So yes, it should be possible for us to catch up, and I certainly would be arguing that we should do everything we can to get on that target by getting the country properly vaccinated by the end of this year. I think if this runs into next year, we run the risk that the world is going to pass us by. That's not what any of us want. Apart from that, we would like to go for a holiday.
Absolutely. And Jay, can I just confirm that Novak has got nothing to do with Novak Djokovic?
Not that I'm aware of, and I'm not sure that Novak Djokovic is enormously connected to the vaccine world.
That's
to be
what
honest.
I thought. I was a bit confused there, Jane.
Yeah, exactly. So, and let's be honest, let's not take our vaccine advice from Novak Djokovic. Let's take it from your health professional.
Here.
Jane, I spoke to you at the start of all this, before we even had a vaccine, and spoke about how it may roll out. Could you have ever predicted that we would be the country lagging behind the UK and the US in their rollout?
No, I wouldn't. And to be honest with you, I do think that's a bit disappointing. Now, let's remember the US isn't exporting much vaccine just at the moment, and the UK, they're using Astra and they're going really hard at it. Let's remember, though, when we talked about that many, many months ago, we didn't even know if we would get a vaccine that would work. Do you remember?
I do.
And we were very worried about that. So my view is let's go the glass half full here. We've got vaccine that works. It prevents severe disease and death. That is brilliant. And yeah, you're right. I'd be hopeful that we would be a bit further advanced. But the good news is we've got CSL, and that really gives me a huge level of comfort.
Let's hope that the rollout catches up with the level of comfort that we're all after, Jane. Thank you very much for joining us.
Pleasure.
From expert opinions to in-depth analysis and reporting, the Project YouTube brings you the biggest stories from Australia and around the globe. Hit the subscribe button now for news delivered straight to your feed.